Hola mga kababayan dito sa Pilipinas at sa buong mundo. Magandang gabi, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali. Dahil nandito na naman tayo sa SalveSays Financial Saturday, ang ating financial open mic. Alam ko hinihintay-hintay ninyo ang question and answer portion mamaya, kaya handa nyo na habang nagsasalita ang ating mga guests, i-type na ang mga katanungan. At huwag makakalimutan, para mauna naming basahin ang inyong mga katanungan, you have to send super chat and stickers daw. Ganon. Okay. Hindi naman po yun budol. Guys, introduction lang. If this is your first time in SalveSays YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our link para mas marami tayong nakikinig sa ating mga guest. At bago ang lahat, tawagin ko na po ang aking poging-poging partner na si Warren De Guzman.
Hi, Salve. Hey, everybody. Nako, Saturday na naman. Nandiyan na yung mga tropa natin. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Si Paolo, si Aris. Hello, Aris. Perfect attendance as usual.
Always.
Si Maria, si Master Apo, si Juana, si LV, Mary Grace. Lovely. Guys, hello. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on our show. And we have a great show for you tonight. Di ba, partner?
Excited na nga ako, partner, kaya diretsuhin na natin dun sa ating short segment, 5 ways to grow your 50,000 petot. Gusto nyo ba yun, guys? Press 1. Kung gusto nyo, 5 simple ways to grow your 50,000 petot dahil sa panahon ngayon, hindi joke ang magpalaki ng 50,000. Tama ba?
Totoo yan. Mahirap magpalaki ng pera ngayon, lalo na pandemya. Nako, dami naghihirap. Actually, just this week, we got the latest jobs report, the jobs number for May. Nag-i-improve naman, di ba? Dumami na yung mga may full-time jobs, kumonti yung mga unemployed. Pero nasa pandemya pa rin tayo, di ba? So medyo mahirap pa rin yung environment for
Totoo
business.
yan.
Diba?
Oo, gumaganda-ganda na pero mahirap pa rin. So yung mga ibibigay namin ni Partner Warren na ideas, nasa sa inyo kung susundin nyo o hindi. Pero ang assumption po nito, wala na tayong utang ha, walang consumer debt, wala tayong binabayaran na high interest debt, may emergency fund na at itong 50,000 petot ay hindi natin kailangan in the next 10 years. O, di ba? Pang long term tayo lagi. Parang love, laging long term. Ayaw natin ng short term. Sure. Humugot na naman ako. Ikaw na, partner, mauna.
Okay. Mga ideas lang to, and just keep in mind what Salve just told us, no? This is money that you're going to be putting at risk. So it should be money that you don't need immediately, no? So yung first tip namin, simple lang, buy and sell. Yung mga gamit or yung mga pangangailangan ng mga tao. Things like food, 'di ba? Actually, just this year, I started with the family yung isang negosyo na pagbebenta ng frozen meat. And it's so easy this year, especially in this time, kasi you can sell online. No, it's the easiest way to market your goods. It's the easiest way to sell and to coordinate or to transact with your customers. Napakadali na, di ba? Hindi mo na kailangan maghanap ng pwesto para maglagay ng mga collaterals or maghanap ng customer. They can come to you. All you need to do is set up something on social media and you can come in. Important thing here is look for a business na mababa lang ang kapital. Look for something low like 10,000 pesos lang ang kailangan kasi yung gusto mo meron kang working capital for a long period of time para makasurvive naman yung negosyo mo kasi magsa-struggle din yan. All businesses go through a period where magsa-struggle muna until you establish a customer base. Yan. So hanap kayo ng yung mga simple things that people really need and sell to as many people as you can. Hanap kayo. Social media, gamitin niyo yan.
So parang wag agad buhos ang 50,000, no, partner. Dapat pa unti-unti mong gagamitin yung kapital na meron ka. Meron akong kaibigan, sabi niya, hindi nga nakikita ng mga tao yun. Meron mga bagoong millionaire. Tuyo Millionaire, mga simpleng ganun, pwede talagang simulan sa 50,000 pesos. Second idea, bili ka ng index funds o kaya exchange traded funds. Pero kailangan, willing ka muna mag-aral. Let's say 7 days, talagang aralin mo araw-araw yan para alam mo kung ano yung pinapasok mo. Magtanong ka sa mga eksperto. And ang kagandahan nito, Partner Warren, in this knowledge economy, knowledge is just out there waiting for you. So, yan, reach out to Warren, to me, to our guests today, at napakamarami pang resources on the internet. Just make sure hindi kayo mapunta sa scammer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you have a little bit more time, actually a lot more time, you can go beyond the ETFs and the index funds and look at actual stocks. Pero ito, kailangan yung pag-aralan talaga. Kung stock picking ang gagawin nyo, dapat alam or kabisado nyo na yung company na bibilan nyo ng stock. Okay? Look at it very carefully, look at it fundamentally, look at it technically, tignan nyo yung price, tignan nyo yung management ng company, understand how the company earns its money, understand its dividend policy, diba? Understand the board of directors, lahat yan, dapat alam na alam mo. Pag kilalang-kilala mo na at gusto mo pa rin bumili ng shares, edi go mo na. And keep in mind na this is a great way to actually become business partners with some of the best businessmen in the country. All right? So check it
At
out.
saka dapat din, Partner Warren, kilala mo yung sarili mo pag napunta ka sa stock market. Kasi pag hindi mo alam na nervyosa ka pala, di ba? Tapos nalalaglag na, napabenta ka ng mali sa oras. So dapat yun, lahat yun. Aralin mo muna. And then you can actually grow. I've seen a lot of people who have started in the market with just 50,000 pesos and over time grew it kasi dinadagdagan nila over time pero natuto. And our next idea is, merong mga hiyang sa micro-lending. Alam ko a lot of people frown on this, but I've seen a lot of people who have also make a little bit more money from their capital na 50,000, pero dapat kilalang-kilala mo din ang pinapautang mo at may kasama mga dokumento at kontrata ang bawat transaction na ito. Check mo muna ang background ng papautangan mo at siguraduhin mo na may trabaho or continuous source of income na hindi mawawala sa duration ng utang niya.
Yan, maganda yan. Actually, microlending is a great way to help out yung mga poor communities, especially yung mga naghihirap ngayon. It's very risky. It's very risky kasi the smaller the amounts and baka mahirapan sila rin magbayad in this kind of environment, lalo na pandemya ngayon. So
dapat
go into
kilala
that
mo.
carefully. Yeah.
At trusted mo, kilala at trusted.
Yes. Yung isa pang pwede niyong gawin ay sumali sa kooperatiba. Now, look at your communities. There are a lot of people out there who are just like you, who are looking to earn extra money for their families, diba, to support themselves. And they've already probably organized themselves into some kind of cooperative. Usually, yung mga kooperatiba na yan, nagpapatakbo ng mga tindahan or mga micro-lending din. Which is something that you can get into, di ba? Wag yun ang gawin on your own. Look for a cooperative that can help you with that. So, but make sure that you know what you're getting into. Study the cooperative before you give them your money.
Galing! Thank you, Partner Warren. At dahil dyan, diretso na ulit tayo sa susunod nating guest para makarami tayo today. At ang excited talaga ako. And for everybody who's listening, stay until the end because there's a very interesting game show towards the end and you all can join in. So bago yan lahat, paki-introduce naman ang ating next guest, itong 29-year-old millionaire natin.
Absolutely. Kilala niyo siya bilang the Nomad Finance girl, a multipreneur, a forex trader, an art collector. Mahirap yan, mahirap yung collecting ng art. An author, she's already published, she's got a book, and Salve actually has it, and a licensed financial coach who helps income earners who find it difficult to manage their emotions around money find peace of mind through value-based personal finance. Let's bring her up, Nikki Jurado.
Uy, may nag-hello MFG. Parang may follower ka Nikki nanonood.
Hello everyone.
Welcome to the show, Nikki. So happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me here. Salamat.
Ito yung magandang tanong kasi matagal ka na sa industriya and you've been doing a lot on social media. I'm sure everybody wants to know how much are you worth right now?
Right now, definitely. Grabe, no? Wow. Sakto ba?
Hotspot.
But well, definitely, I would say instead of giving you a number, I am able to do whatever I want to do. That's what I can say.
Alright.
Yeah.
Diba?
So you
Grabe,
are,
sarap.
may
Oo.
financial freedom ka na.
YOLO.
Yun.
Yes, YOLO kung YOLO, ganon.
Oo, ganda nga nun sa book niya kasi meron siyang tinanong if money is not an issue, what will you do? Eh, hindi na issue sa kanya ang pera, kaya she can do anything she wants. Oh, pa!
Yes,
Boom!
yes.
So,
Totoo.
ayan, bigyan mo naman ng tips yung mga viewers natin. How did you get your financial freedom? How did you grow your wealth?
O sige, yung kwento ba, yung buong kwento? Well,
Yes, go.
yung origin story, medyo maaga ako nag-start.
Nikki, your whole kwento in 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Sige.
Kaya mo yan. Let's go.
Sige, I started early, super early. I'm 29 now, but I actually started when I was 11, so I was that young. Very privileged to have a set of parents who are very supportive, na talagang tinuturuan ako what to do, and they really showed me how to do this. So by the age of 11, I already had my own business. Nagsimula ito dahil umutang ako. So ang una kong ginawa, umutang ako ng 60,000 pesos. So if you're familiar with Santa Lucia East, the mall, yung
Yes.
mall sa Cainta, diba? Kumuha ako ng stall doon. And during this time, ang una kong problem that I had to solve was minor pa ako. And the first problem na kailangan ko talagang hanapan ng solusyon is sino yung magiging partner ko na above 18 years old. So I was 11, I was dealing with this. And my business back then was, if familiar pa sa inyo, yung Nokia 5110, 3310, yung mga ganon.
Oh,
Diba? Yung mga unang cellphone. Oo, yun yung mga kahit 3 days mo hindi i-charge, buhay na buhay pa siya. Di ba?
Kahit ibato mo, okay lang, di ba?
Oo,
11
mas okay
years
nga yun
old
eh.
ka. 11
Mm-mm.
years old. Did I get that right?
Yes. Yeah. Ang negosyo namin back then ay yung mga backlight, ringtone, kung naalala nyo pa yung mga ganon. Tsaka ito yung mga panahon na pwede ka pang mag-burn ng CD, hindi ka pa ikukulong. Yung mga pirated. Diba? Naalala nyo yun? 50 pesos
Yes.
lang. May listahan ka ng kanta, kompleto na yan. Diba? Pero ano lang siya, pag pinatugtog mo sa kotse mo o sa CD player mo, tumatalon-talon lang. Yun lang ang problema.
Yun lang.
Diba?
Okay lang yun.
So,
Wala, mura lang eh.
Oo. Wala pa si si Sir Eddie na ikukulong ka niya, 'di ba? Bawal pa rin. And then so I was doing cellphones and also I got into the gaming trend. Ito yung kakalabas lang ng PS1, PlayStation 1. And doon ko na sinabay yung burning of CDs kasi back then pwede mo pang i-burn yung CD games. And if you're familiar with Dance Dance Revo, yan nakisabay na ako diyan.
Ay, sumasayaw to.
Hindi, yung game. Binibenta ko. Gaming console.
Ano, papasample ako. Pero Nikki, makasingit ako kasi we only have a couple of minutes left. How long before you got your first million?
I was 15 when I started.
4
Pinalago
years.
ko na lang talaga. Yeah. Ano lang yun, negosyo. So, hindi ako talaga kumukuha ng money from my business. My mindset back then was, pag may kinita ako sa negosyo, gagawin ko siyang isa pang negosyo, tas isa pang negosyo hanggang lumaki siya ng lumaki. And when I was 15, I hit my first million.
Alright! Kailangan ng palakpak yan. Wala akong sound card dito. Manual na lang.
Manual. Old school.
Yeah. So, direct lang. So, my question is, nataranta ako bigla, di ba? In your book, you challenge people to ask themselves, what would you do if money is not an issue? What have been the most interesting answers you have heard from people na sumagot nito?
Grabe. Kasi thousands na yung natanong ko, no? Well, syempre crazy na yung answers ng iba. Like, live sa moon, pumunta sa Jupiter, mga ganun bagay. Pero I think, the most interesting pa rin are the simplest answers. Kasi the other version of what would you do if money isn't an issue is actually, what will you do if willing kang gawin yung bagay na yun for free? Kasi hindi na issue sa'yo yung pera. And laging lumalabas yung pinaka-simple na pinaka-totoo for them. And this is usually, parents saying, gusto ko ako yung maghatid sundo sa anak ko sa school, or advocates saying, gusto ko magpatayo ng pet shelter. Dito kasi lalabas talaga yung passion-driven work that you're willing to do even if you're not paid. So I find those things, the most interesting answers. Kasi doon ko talaga nalalaman ano yung importante sa'yo. Kaya my favorite question in the world would be, what would you do if money isn't an issue? Yun.
Napaka-inspiring. Partner Warren, you have one more question.
Yes, I have a question. Ito, kasi usually yung mga iba, when they have a business, yun talaga yung inaasahan nila for their expenses. So how do you manage not to get money from your businesses? Ano yung para sa mga daily expenses mo?
Okay. I follow a strict budgeting rule. This is actually from T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I follow the money jar system. And naka-allocate na talaga lahat ng pera. And you have to remember, especially for those who are starting their businesses, lalo na nung pandemic, nagsulputan lahat ng bagong e-commerce, 'di ba, na negosyo, na kinukuha nila yung personal expenses nila sa business money nila. You have to remember that personal finance is different from business finance, and you really have to separate yung jars mo with your businesses and your personal money jars. So that's what I do. My money in business is totally separate from my expenses. And kahit yung perang yun, naka-manage siya into money jars. And then yung personal finance ko, may money jars din. Para no matter what happens to me, my businesses are alive. I think one of my biggest fears is one day maghirap eh. Kaya ginagawa ko yun. Ayoko maghirap. Gusto ko makakain ng masasarap na pagkain. Kaya that's what I would do. You have to
Bili
be
ka
very
daw
careful.
bili ka daw ng steak kay Warren.
Yes. Yeah, I will.
Supportive friend. Thank you so much, Nikki. I love what you stand for, and we are actually in the same advocacy. But what I like about this book, let me just read because I'm a fan of, especially the last part, and very quick lang, direct, I promise. Sabi niya to people, diba, I'm quoting you to you. In your letter at the end of the book, travel the world, find your why, write, inspire as many people as you can, talk with strangers, and I mean really, really talk with strangers, learn from ates and kuyas, cry with new friends, paint, take a gazillion photos, talk about what you're thankful for, talk about your pain, share whatever you can, etc., etc. And then you said, eat whatever you want on the menu, buy one-way tickets, and please, please live intentionally. And for us who talk about money all the time, we often forget the values that are attached to money. And you're saying, don't just live your life to pay bills. Live intentionally. Yes. Make sure that the way you use your money is meant to give you the life that you actually want to live.
Yeah. Yeah. We only have one life. Totoo ang YOLO.
So guys, we will bring back Nikki later in the show, so please type in your questions. Remember, she's an entrepreneur, forex trader, art collector, author, and licensed financial coach. So please type in your questions para pag question and answer masasagot namin agad. And don't forget, subscribe to SalveSays YouTube channel so that you can watch shows just like this where we interview great thought leaders like Nikki. Thanks so much, Nikki. We'll bring you up later.
Nako,
and
partner,
introducing,
si Aris,
yes.
ayan na naman, si Aris.
Nagmamine.
Nagmamine na naman, ang daming mine.
Nagmamine, sabi niya nga eh. So to introduce our second guest, this is another, I'm actually really fangirling now, which I can't do on ANC. But here we can get away with a lot of things because this is our show, right? He's a former member of the board of the Philippine Stock Exchange, former president of the Fund Management Association of the Philippines. Guys, yun yung mga tao na nagmamanage ng mga mutual fund at UITFs ninyo. Ay, TOA pala yun, no? So, FMAP is for mutual funds. He also used to be the managing director and regional head of PineBridge Asia, as well as former country head of PineBridge Philippines. He is a multiple award-winning regional fund manager and currently a member of the board of directors of First Metro Asset Management. Partner Warren, ako ay baby pa lang, nakadikit na ang mukha niya sa Bloomberg Terminal. Let's bring into the show Wilfred Son Keng po. Hi, Wilfred.
Hi,
Wilfred.
Hello. Hi.
Sorry, I'm gushing, but I'm just so grateful that you found time to be with us tonight. And I think everybody's in the beginning of the show, meron na agad nagtanong, saan nga ba papunta ang Pilipinas? We hear a lot, like Warren talks about the economy all the time in ANC, in ABS-CBN, but we'd like to hear from you. Where is the Philippines headed? What's going to happen in the last 6 months of the year?
Oh, that's too short if you're talking about the last 6 months of the year.
Sige na, 2 years. Sige, 2 years. 2 years.
No, I think what's the focus right now is obviously like anong problema ng mundo is really the pandemic, right? But what's going on? So obviously it depends on how each of the countries are dealing with the pandemic, the right strategy. So nung wala pa yung vaccine, may mga countries that were doing very well, right? They restrict borders, they restrict the flow of people from outside into the country. They have very good contract tracing, so they were able to have a better normalized, so to speak, economy, right? So of course, unfortunately, kung mga pandemic na to, which is very rare. Obviously, I think the last time it happened was about 100 years ago. So ibig sabihin, you could count by by two hands kung ilan pa yung tao na up to now na alive pa na nakaabot ng last pandemic, which was back in 1918. So I think right now the Philippines has to solve that pandemic with the post-vaccine era, no? So they had a few false start, but then they're now picking up steam on the vaccine race. So I think pag yung mga vaccines dumami na, and then it reaches a lot of people closer to herd immunity, then the easing would even be better. Of course, dapat nakabalanse yan, no, sa strategy din I mean, you should still continue with the protocols and everything, and then the economy will start picking up. But in the long term, ang tingin ko kasi even before itong pandemic started, during this administration, the cyclical downturn has already, for me, started already. So the only way to sustain the economy for the Philippines is dapat may infrastructure. So if you can see, despite the pandemic, mukhang gumagastos naman yung government sa mga infrastructure, di ba? Sa mga roads, mga connector roads, sa mga highways. So that's actually a very good start, you know. Of course, if they increase pa the renovation of the airports all over the province, that's also a big thing. Para pag okay na itong pandemic, then that will start doing well. So I'm still very optimistic on definitely our own country on the next few years.
What do you think? When do you think we can go back to pre-pandemic growth rates?
Oh, that's a big if, but it has to do with talagang with the vaccine, with the combination of the vaccine strategy of the government, on top of the balancing act of containing the infections, right? Now they're saying a number like in December. I think the new strategy has been has so far been correct. I mean, they asked the LGUs to be more proactive in securing the vaccines for their own, diba? For their own cities and all that stuff. So that seems to be working. So at the same time, they're still maintaining the communication na hindi ibig sabihin kung na vaccinated ka na hindi ka pwedeng you have to take off your mask, or hindi na pwedeng, you still have to follow those things. And I think once the infections come off, that and that will improve. But if you're saying the pandemic going to a new normal na tingin ko eh. So baka I'm looking at about a year at the very least At
From
the very,
now,
yeah.
a year from now. Wow, that's
Mm-mm,
gonna be
mm-mm.
far into the future.
Kasi you don't know pa with this, hindi ako doctor, obviously. I'm more investment
Oo nga.
guru. But the thing about, if you're an investment person, you're a jack of all trades, you know all these industries, especially me, kasi hindi lang Pilipinas, hindi ba? I mean, I was lucky enough to do about 12 countries all over Asia. So, yan ang swerte ko. So, I got to know a lot of industries, right? So that's a good thing. So the key there is the logic, eh. Follow the logic, eh. Not just the science. If you're not too good at, science, you follow the logic lang, so if you follow the logic, if the herd immunity will be reached, now they're saying 80%. If the variants stop, if people get more careful, so that the virus will come down, then it should be okay. But I think it might take about at the very least mga a year pa yan, ganon, for now.
Partner
Yeah.
Warren,
So
we have around 1 minute, Partner Warren. You ask question and then I will ask the last question.
yeah, I'm sure everybody wants to know this. So you're looking at that. You feel that we'll get to the new normal in a year's time. You're confident we're going to recover. But how do you take action on that? What is your investment plan? What are you doing right now in terms of your own investments?
You know, I don't I don't tell people what I do.
That's
Mga
you know
may-
the- you know
all
what,
my-
Wilfred? All the
Oo.
OGs that I follow, they actually do that. They don't say what they personally do. Ay, di ko
No,
alam bakit ganun.
No, you know why? Because yun it's the pinaka basics ng investing, eh. Especially if you're on the other side. Kasi it depende sa risk profile mo. Depende kung gaano kang, how aggressive you are, how conservative you are. So I cannot say dapat ganon ang gawin nyo or dapat ganon ang gawin nyo. Kung conservative kayo or kung kailangan nyo ng pera or ano, 'di ba? So
Yeah.
or okay lang kayo maski na mawala yung pera. So it really depends on the person kung ano yung risk profile ng each individual, ganon. So
I have Wilfred.
yeah.
I'll just sing it. No, I know we're being told to move on to the next segment, but
Sure.
I have
sure.
just one tawad for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Sometimes you get viewers who tell us, will the Philippines ever recover? And meron akong investments dyan, ililiquidate ko na ba? And you being in the investments industry for a long time, you've seen a lot of crises. And I know you've said time and time again that nobody actually know with any definitive idea what's going to happen tomorrow or in the next. And we're all just really looking for ways to grow our money no matter what. What is the best strategy for people who are just so scared?
Well, the best strategies for me personally is in general, that we're still part of a pandemic. It seems to be easing already, but it might still take a year, right? As I've mentioned. So it would be wise to still be on the conservative side of things. So you would want to save more. If you want to spend, you don't have to spend as much as you used to unless you feel that the job is more secure, something like that. So I would do that. So on investment,
should we stay invested? Should we
You-
go to cash or stay invested?
No. If you go to cash, sayang lang kasi because there's always inflation, right? So I would advise that you be diversified. But again, depending on how risky you are, you can put a combination sa equities and sa fixed income, right? So as Warren mentioned earlier, yung mga funds are a very good venue for interest rates for the fixed income. And then ngayon na may easing ng konti, I think yung mga old economy stocks or yung mga cyclical names will start moving up. So that's going to be positive also for the stock market. Ganon.
Nice,
Alright.
nice. Thank you so much. I think there are a lot of questions already.
Madami na.
And then, pwede na natin isingit, Warren, yung mga questions pa na gusto natin itanong kay Wilfred. Go, partner.
Hindi,
Maybe we
mamaya
can
na.
start
Move na
with
tayo
the
sa ano.
question and answer muna with Nikki.
Q&A,
We'll bring
Q&A.
Q&A with Nikki. Excited na siya sa movie game.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
si Nikki.
Okay, so more questions for Wilfred and Nikki. I think we have well, reminder lang for our guests to keep your answers short because we
Your
only have
questions short,
8 minutes for the Q&A segment.
Here,
For
I have
Nikki,
one.
yeah. Okay, go ahead, Warren.
Ito pala. Sino to? This is John Miguel. Hindi ko mabasa. For Nikki, do you think that the only way to be rich is to have a business? Or what if we want to be rich but we don't want to be in business?
Syempre hindi lang in business, business kasi kailangan, lang yan meron pang skills involved. There are other money-making skills out there, like trading, investing. Personally lang, I'm into the forex market and art investments and real estate, no? But as long as you have the right capital and the right skills, you have to remember that skills, important yan. You can get into other money-making skills, hindi lang naman sa negosyo. Marami pa.
Ayan, very, very clear. I think Wilfred can also answer that. Can people really get wealthy by investing in financial instruments if ayaw nila magnegosyo?
Oh, yes. Simple lang yan. Yes. Basta you're in the right instruments, you have, if you're not that keen or hindi ka masyadong expert, make sure that you have financial experts that can guide you, no? So with that, you can always make money even without business. Definitely, that's a given. You just have to be, you have just to know to know the right people to go to get the expertise of, so that you know where to go to.
So wag yung Facebook lang
Yeah.
join kayo ng Facebook group dyan, Facebook analysis tsaka chismis analysis ang tawag nila, Kev and Harris doon. Fundamental analysis tsaka technical naging Facebook and chismis.
But the other way around, that you have to be careful also. Don't get into this quick rich schemes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Which I think you
Dami.
guys have always emphasized. But it doesn't mean, actually, ito pang tip. You have to be wary na if sinasabi sa inyo, we'll give you 20%. Basta kung double digit ang sinasabi sa inyo, you have to be worried already.
Ayan, may bago ako nakita niyan, 20% in a couple of days lang. Nakita ko sa Facebook recently, lumalaki na siya. Pero alam mo, before we move on, kasi somebody asked here, what about you? What will you do if money is not an issue? I think it would be fun to ask Warren and Wilfred that. Kasi si Nikki, alam na natin yung sagot. So Wilfred, Warren first, what will you do if money is not an issue?
Nako, I think I'd still be doing this. I'd still be happy to, to be going online and helping people understand how to make their lives better and how not to be slaves to money or to the job or to whatever it is that makes them miserable, to find a way to better themselves and to let money work for them instead of the other way around.
I'll just spill the beans to everybody who's listening. Warren is really excited to join me in going to the far-flung communities, talk to farmers, fishermen, CCT beneficiaries to teach them ways to improve their financial life. And kung meron kayong place na gusto nyong puntahan namin, please comment in the section, in the comment box. Diba? Tingnan, hindi ko masasama yan si Wilfred, sigurado. Kasi baka 5-star hotel lang hingin sa akin. But hopefully, maybe we can bring to these people all your advice, Nikki and Wilfred, so that they can, have a little, much better chance in life. Wilfred, what will you do? Wait, si Wilfred muna. What will you do if money is not an issue? Pero parang feeling ko money is not an issue na sa'yo.
No, but of course, money is still finite, right? So you're talking about if money is infinite, right? So if money infinite, then ako personally, I like to travel. Obviously, you can't do that now, but once it's over, I like to travel a lot more. Kasi you get to you get to get educated on the culture, on the and you can see all these sceneries from all over all the countries in the world.
Yeah.
So if there's no issue on the money, travel ng travel. Kasi you're gonna learn a lot more and the culture and all that stuff. Very satisfying. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Thank
thought you were
you.
going to say
Alright.
YOLO. I thought you were going to say YOLO.
Our next question.
Ito yung question na maganda from Marcelo. The Philippines is included again in the gray list of the FATF
Ay, oo
as
nga.
one country under monitoring due to money laundering and maybe corruption as one basis. So they want to talk. Just to be clear, though, the BSP already came out and said that we just need to comply with some of the requirements and to prove that we can actually effectively use the new laws to police our borders against terrorist financing. So the BSP says they're on it and wala pang penalties sa Pilipinas regarding to that gray listing. But again, yes, it's very troubling that we're back on the gray list. So Wilfred, what can you say about that?
Well, it's always hard when a country like ours will be pointed out as such, but in a way you could say that it also makes our regulators be on top of it to ensure that we should be off the gray list, kasi any country would not want to have that red mark, right? Even a big country like the second biggest economy in the world, China. Okay, China had a lot of those, but over the last 10 years, and they've been striving hard to be more transparent and all that stuff, and it has paid wonders for them. That's why dati wala, I mean, they're not included in mga indices, mga MSCI ganon. So now they're now included in all this MSCI equity and fixed income indices so it's all about being aware of it, and it's all about doing something about it, and I think our authorities naman are doing that, so that's good. So hopefully we'll be out of there soon. Yeah,
Hopefully. I think the BSP promised January 2023.
Sana. But sometimes it's not just the laws, it's how it's enforced, 'di ba? So may question sa mga nagsisend ng money overseas and back. Last question for Nikki before we go to our movie game. Nikki, para daw ba pag may high interest debt, nag-work pa rin daw ba? This is a question from Kumu. Nag-work pa rin daw ba ang JAR system?
For that, okay, I would recommend for that ilalagay mo siya sa necessities jar because it's something that you have to clear up before entering any money game. People are always excited kasi to invest and grow their money, start this, start that, pero ang daming utang, especially yung mga high-yielding ones. Yun ang unang-una nating priority kung may kailangan kang bayaran. Na-mention na rin yan earlier, di ba? Sa first segment, that before you enter any money making deals, for yourself, you have to clear your debts first. Mahirap kasi yan. Even your savings, hindi mo siya mako-complete if may utang ka, plus wala ka pang emergency funds. And I'm sure naramdaman natin to noong 2020. So clear that first and use your necessity jar to be able to do that.
I love it. There are a lot more questions. I am so sorry we cannot read all of them, nor
One more from Marcelo.
Sige, go
one more lang, from Marcelo. We didn't get to address it. He's asking if the PSE will be offering cryptocurrency exchange trading soon. Nako, just Wilfred, your views on crypto kasi yung PSE I think malayo pa yata dyan.
Kung board member ka pa ng PSE ngayon.
No.
No, agad.
No, because tingnan mo, up to now wala pa tayong short selling, 'di ba? That's been
true.
What
Di
more
pa ready.
crypto? What more crypto?
Yeah.
Hindi pa ready na.
oo.
Quick. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay,
The reach
thank you
took a
so
long
much,
time.
guys. I know. My gosh, more than 10 years yung reads talaga. Parang noon pa pinag-uusapan. Sobrang bitin, but we have to end the question and answer segment.
Sorry, guys.
If there are any other questions, I'm so sorry. Meron mga nag-request, pumunta daw tayo sa Davao at saka sa Midsayap sa Cotabato. Game ka ba? Game ka
Game!
ba, partner Warren? Okay,
Game
we're
ako
really
dyan.
excited to do that pag wala ng pandemya.
Yes.
Siyempre, hindi kami pwedeng pumunta sa inyo, pero pag wala ng pandemya, we will try to make sure that we can reach those places kasi hindi abot ng internet ang ibang places sa Pilipinas. But before we end, I know that you guys enjoyed this session. I did. I really enjoyed this session. We have a movie game. At stake here is 1 kilo of Sagada dark coffee from from the farmers in Benguet that I support, and I promise this is really good coffee. So question, ang instruction at yung mga nanonood pwede po kayong sumagot. Ang instruction, guess the movie. You have to raise your hands first if you want to be the first to answer. Warren, Wilfred, and Nikki will play for the coffee. Okay, number 1. In this post-apocalypse movie shown in 2012, this girl protagonist with initials KE hunts wild game in secret to feed her family. Okay, because food is scarce para
Alam
sa
na.
mga Pinoy ngayong pandemya, self-sufficiency can save you cash. Anong movie ito? Nauna si Nikki, guys.
Nauna si Nikki.
Wala bang sagot sa comment section? Nikki, what's the answer? What's the
Hunger
answer?
Games.
Yeah.
Hunger Games.
Okay,
Hunger
number
Games.
2. Okay, guys, paki-score. In this 1997 British comedy film, 6 na boys, broke and unemployed, naging stripper para kumita ng pera. Ang clue dito, ang lesson sa pandemyang ito, it's never too late to gain a new skill like investing. Answer, Wilfred!
The Full Monty.
Beto, Monty.
Ang
Nako.
galing. Okay, third. Direct, pwede ba? Noong 2006, okay, Warren! Team Empower and Transform, dali!
Teka lang. Uy, alam ko
2006.
yung first. Alam ko yung first and second.
Okay.
Bago lang ako mag-raise ng hand.
Game. Noong 2006, nag-star si Anne Hathaway. Di pa ako tapos, Nag-star si Anne Hathaway sa isang movie kasama si Meryl Streep. This movie shows that wanting to make money is good but you will end up damaging personal relationships if you work too hard. Si Wilfred ba yung nauna? Si Wilfred yung nauna. Yes, Wilfred.
Oh, obviously, The Devil Wears Prada.
Alam ko rin yun, ha?
Popular
I knew
that movie.
Okay. Direct isa na lang. Okay, pinapakat na ako. Noong 2006, isang tatay na homeless kasama ang kanyang maliit na anak ay hindi tumigil sa kanyang pangarap to be financially independent. Nag-establish siya ng multi-billion-dollar brokerage firm. Nikki, what's the answer?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
Last na lang.
Oh, I haven't watched that. I should watch that.
Okay, last na lang. Pinalabas ang movie na ito noong 2013 kung saan ang isang silver tongue fraudster ay nakaloko ng napakaraming financially savvy na tao. Uy, si Nikki nauna. Yes, Nikki?
Go, Nikki.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, the Wolf of Wall Street.
Wait, sino winner?
Yeah.
Hindi ako nag-score.
Oh, si Nikki. And then si Wilfred yata.
Sino niyo?
Si Nikki nanalo, I think.
Si Nikki na lang. Alright, hindi
Everybody's a winner. Send us all coffee. Ako din, bigyan mo na ng kape.
Sige na nga. Kayo talaga. Nikki, Wilfred, powerful one-liners from each one of you before we say bye-bye. We'll start with Nikki.
Live intentionally. Totoo ang YOLO, you only have one life. That's it.
Wow, powerful.
Yeah.
Wilfred.
Balance of life. So if you're don't be too ambitious. It's good to be ambitious, but also take care of your health. So balance of life is very important for me.
Thank you, Warren.
Yeah, ang galing ng YOLO kasi different yung unang meaning ng YOLO sa sinasabi ni Nikki, di ba? So keep that in mind. Iba yung meaning na. But yung last line ko, it actually came from Wilfred. Don't follow investment advice blindly. Your investment decisions depend on your situation. So take care of yourself, take care of your money.
Thank you. Lastly, for me, be kind. I think this week that has been the theme of my week. The kindness is a lot more precious than all the money in the world. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Please don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Join us again next week. Same time, same place, your living room. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you for having me.